would note that we're here for a very obvious reason. The door was opened, and now we're dealing with that. And the door shouldn't have been opened. I'm reminded. But in this instance, I'm going to be very open and honest about why I'm going to vote for this resolution. That's why. Again, recognizing the statements that the representative has made, I find to be highly problematic, extremely concerning, raising very serious questions from a foreign affairs perspective, as the ranking member has raised about statements made and how he feels about people being uncertain.
Chip Roy opened his remarks declaring they stood there for one undeniable reason: the door had been forced wide, and now Congress must confront the fallout. That door never should have moved yet with it open. He laid out why he would vote for this resolution. His voice ignited the chamber, drawing thunderous applause from Republicans and fierce backlash from Democrats. Before we go further, hit subscribe so you never miss moments like this right now. Stay informed every day.
I remember being part of all those conversations, the Senate lawyer and the Judiciary Committee. Bill first decided not to deploy the nuclear option. In 2013, Harry Reid did deploy the nuclear option. 2017, then certain things changed at the United States Supreme Court. So now we live in that world. It is what it is. Now here we sit. The door was opened. I just went back and reread my speech on the floor, because the gentleman, I hadn't done that yet. I went back and reread my speech on the floor. Not stand by every word of that speech. And in it, I referenced the fact that I had just a few months prior had been in agreement with some of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle with respect to January 6th, which there's disagreements on our side of the aisle on some of that with respect to the votes at the time. And that I'd taken very strong disagreement and sought apology from our colleague on our side of the aisle about some of the remarks that were said, but felt that this was not the right path to go down. I stand by that. So here we sit. I could associate myself and do with all the remarks the gentleman from South Carolina. I have very strong disagreement with a lot of the statements that Representative Omar has made. We've covered most of them. That some people did something is the one that really sticks in my craw pretty strongly. Raises a whole lot of flags for me. I think there are significant amount of justifications to raise issues with respect to service on the Foreign Affairs Committee, but I would not go down this road. But I'm also reminded, in August of 1993, Juan Gonzalez was a batter for the Texas Rangers and was plunked by Alex Fernandez from the White Sox. And just a little bit later, Robin Ventura came to the plate for the White Sox, and Nolan Ryan was on the mound. And Robin knew what was about to happen. Nolan plunked him. And then Robin Ventura charged the mound, and then Nolan Ryan beat the crud out of him on the mound. That's what happened. We all know that's what happened. It's old school baseball. Nolan Ryan defined old school baseball. This is raw politics. That's what this is. When the door's opened, then there's a question, and you have to decide what you're going to do. We're not going to unilaterally disarm. Just not going to do it. I'm tired of that. It just is what it is. Guys took a shot at someone on our team, about statements I disagreed with and took very much to task. But I've got strong disagreements with Representative Omar. I would prefer, if it were just starting from scratch, I would not choose this path. I'd just say whatever stuff you all want to say. We'll say whatever stuff we want to say. Our managers will pick our team. Let's go battle it out in committee. That's what I would say. I would say that's the right place to be. But at this point in time, it is my considered judgment that, like Nolan Ryan, we've got to respond. And I'm just going to be blunt and honest about it. That's just my belief. I think it's important. And I hope we'll get through this. We'll kind of hip check each other. Maybe we can sit down and figure out by the end of this Congress, next Congress, whoever's in charge, we figure out how we're going to play ball going forward and set those rules. And I would say the same thing about open rules, closed rules, structured rules. And the ranking member could scoff. We've had X number of votes. We'll have continued debate about this stuff over time. There will be closed rules. There will be structured rules. There will be open rules. I'd like to have that debate. I'd like to have the considered judgment of the ranking member on that, and as I have debate on my side of the aisle. I'm just saying that we can figure out how to protect this institution and try to decide how to do things the right way.
Roy reminded fellow members that this battle wasn't only about a person. It was about the rules of the institution. He looked back to Harry Reid using the nuclear option and Democrats rewriting the rules to get their way once that precedent was set. The balance of power shifted. Roy argued that Republicans did not pick this battle, but the battle came to them. He made it clear he had very deep disagreements with Representative Omar. Her comment that some people did something about 9/11, he said, still lingers in his mind. In his view, it raises serious concerns about how she handles terrorism and foreign affairs. These remarks, he argued, make her unfit to serve on the Foreign Affairs Committee. To drive home his point, Roy shared a story from 1993. Nolan Ryan struck Robin Ventura with a pitch. Ventura rushed the mound, and Ryan did not back down. He stood his ground and fought back. Roy likened this to politics today. When one side takes a shot, the other side has to respond. In his words, you get hit, you hit back. Roy admitted he would have preferred a system where both parties simply chose their committee members and battled it out through debate. That, he argued, is how Congress should function. But because Democrats broke the rules first, Roy said Republicans could not unilaterally disarm. This was not about revenge, but about ensuring fairness and stopping double standards. He said his hope was that Congress could one day reset the rules and build fairness in how committees and debates are handled. Whether through open rules, structured rules, or closed rules, he stressed the need for clarity. But until that happens, Roy said Republicans must operate within the reality they've been given. That is why he backed the resolution to remove Ilhan Omar. It wasn't the path he would have chosen at the start, but it was the path the moment demanded. He compared politics to a contact sport, one where both sides need to be ready to fight back. For Roy, accountability mattered, and this was one of those defining moments. If you agree, hit the like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates.